I know you're tired. I know you're hurting. And I wish I could say something that was classy and inspirational.
You can do it!
But that just wouldn't be our style.
Welcome to Project Reclamation, where you rebuild, re-energize, and reclaim your life.
Bam! And we're back. Hello, Tim.
Well, hello, Steven.
This is the 1950s record.
Yeah.
We are doing this in all this voice for the entire duration.
We have a new story for you.
This just in.
So, Steve, I noticed you're wearing a USPS hat.
That's right.
That's right. You didn't bring me anything.
No, I did not deliver any mail.
Or do you have a package that you need to deliver to a lucky lady later?
Rimshot, yeah.
Shitty joke.
We're not above it here at Project Reclamation.
No, dick jokes are fun.
Oh, is that what we're doing? Oh.
Hi, Mom.
I thought we were just... I get it.
Yeah.
I think I'm a little behind
package.
Sometimes.
What is that, an Alonzo Mourning jersey?
No, this is a Larry Johnson, Alonzo Mourning's best buddy in Charlotte. Not in New York when he went to Miami, though. Alonzo went to Miami, but...
There are no Charlotte... Wait, are there Charlotte Hornets?
They're back. They've been back for like the last...
It's not the same team, though, is it?
No.
It's an expansion? Is it like a Cleveland Browns situation?
Exactly. Exactly. Well, you know what's so funny is that I've been watching...
Interesting.
I've been watching the Cleveland Browns because they're supposed to be the exciting new team. And anyways, long story short is that I can't imagine something of that historical significance leaving, and then... Because they got an expansion team in 1999, they just renamed them the Cleveland Browns. But I can't imagine imagine something historical now, like leaving. It. Tell me about it. Why? There's no other name that they were going to name them. There was zero other name that they were going to name them.
I guess, but it's like...
Because they're so historical.
And I know there's a lot more history there than the Chargers, but if we got an expansion team in San Diego, like, I wouldn't want them to be called the Chargers.
That's correct.
I would want something new. Chargers, gone, done. Browns, left your fucking city. I would say, fuck you, Browns.
Well, they didn't leave because they wanted to.
I want to call it the Cleveland... What is Cleveland famous for?
Cleveland Rock. They have the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. They could call it the Cleveland Rocks,
Blizzards.
Or the Cleveland Guitars.
The Cleveland Lake Snow Effect. You know what I mean?
Cleveland... I've been to Cleveland. It's kind of like, remember Wayne's World? And he's like, they're doing all the backdrop changes. And he's like, look, I'm in like, come on, I want to lay you, blah, 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 blah. I'm in Hawaii. And then he's like,
I'm in New York. I got a gun. Let's go to a Broadway show.
He's like, I'm in Delaware.
I'm in Delaware. All right.
So that's kind of how I felt when I was in Cleveland. Like, it was a nice city, but I'm like, I'm in Cleveland. I felt the exact same way about Cincinnati. Sorry, Ohio. Maybe I didn't know what was fun.
Cincinnati was a very dead city when I went there.
So dead. Well, here's a weird thing. Both those cities, Cincinnati and Cleveland, like their downtown scene is not
non-existent.
Which is weird because like San Diego, like that is our scene is downtown. I mean, there's a lot of other scenes, but I mean, that's like that's kind of bougie, like kind of clubby, kind of...
If you're coming in for a hot 3-day burner, like that's where you're probably going to go.
I mean, it depends on what you're into, what your age range is, what you're looking for.
Sure.
But Cleveland and Cincinnati, the downtown area is just like where people work and nobody lives there. And there's like, that's not where the happening place is.
You know what's so funny is I was in Cleveland and I was just trying to go to a mall because that's where, malls are usually where people are populated around and like pretty close to downtowns, I would assume, etc. They didn't even have a mall. Like the mall was like, an acceptable mall was like probably maybe in like, I don't know. I just looked on Google Maps and it was like, a whole thumb's print away, and I was like, wow, that's kind of far, I guess.
When I was in Cleveland, I had a friend that lived there. I don't know. I haven't talked to her forever.
And by the way, Cleveland, if you put in a mall there, I'm sorry. I would love to go back to your city and check it out because honestly, it's an amazing city, I guess.
Took us to a place called the Flats, and that was fun.
Sure.
But still, I just... For a city that seems to be a fairly large city, fairly populated city, I was like, wow, I'm in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm in Cincinnati. But hey, shout out to your chili. Fucking fine.
What is Cleveland known for, actually? I don't know.
No, but Cincinnati, they have...
Cincinnati's known for their chili? Cincinnati is known for their pigs.
I'm pretty sure your standard, like, fucking classic chili is a Cincinnati dish.
Oh, is it?
I could be wrong, but... Hey,
I don't want you to be wrong.
For all you Cincinnati listeners, reach out to us at Project X Reclamation at gmail.com.
I thought we were Project Reclamation Podcast.
The email hasn't changed.
Okay.
I need you to bear with me, Steve. I need you to fucking pay attention. Or go to our website, which is just projectreclamationpodcast.com. I
Shakaki.
just redid it. Please go visit it. Like, leave me a note, even if it's like, fuck you, Tim. I don't care. I'm just happy to get some sort of a, hey, someone visited my fucking
Someone
website.
visited. We have the counter set at 1 right now.
So, that being said, I do have to, we need to get a little business out of the way.
All right.
We just joined
Yep.
a podcast network.
What?
It is a brand new podcast network. I think
Boy, this is new to me. Go on.
quickly growing. But I believe the last time I checked, there was 17 members.
Wow.
It was started by our good friend Brent at Sofa King Podcast.
Sofa King.
Sofa King is the flagship, and it's called Podbelly Podcast Network.
I love it.
I believe the tagline is "Pig out on podcasts."
I love it.
It's a lot of P's, a lot of alliteration.
Man, doesn't
there.
matter. They could be more P's.
But it's a super cool website. Just go to podbelly.com.
Fantastic.
Go to podbelly.com. It had to be a plosive word too, like one that I if I edited this fucking podcast, I'd have to edit out because yeah. So go to podbelly.com. There's a bunch of different podcasts there. You can check them out. And if you're interested in you just got
our second turnover just happened.
No, it's just like there's like a Podbelly chat group, and I need to turn the sound off of my fucking computer.
Well, no, we want that sound to keep on going to let you know how popular Podbelly Podcast is.
Dude, it's cute. There's a little the logo's a little pig. It's Kevin Bacon. Steve, you're supposed to laugh at that.
Sorry, your dog is attacking me.
Yeah, my dog. She's an asshole.
No, it's that one. It wasn't that one.
He was licking you.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, he does that.
It's a little weird.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. So, anyways, podbelly.com. Go check it out. There's a bunch of different podcasts on there. You just might be interested in them. I know there's some.
I know you will be.
There's some paranormal ones.
Yep.
There's some ones where they talk about nothing.
There's
on. There's some. I don't know. I need to go. There's one that's called All About Star Wars or All Things Star Wars. I need to go. I probably need to be better at this before I start giving them shout outs.
You know what? You keep on giving them shout outs, baby.
There's a bunch of cool ones. You know what?
Support everyone.
Go check it out. Podbelly Podcast Network. Podbelly.com.
Wow.
And go to projectreclamationpodcast.com. You can also get there from podbelly.com.
Wow, there's a link?
Wait a minute. I think I did it both ways. I think you can get to either one through either one.
Wow.
And then it's just like a constant cycle. You could just go from one to the other to the other to the
Pig out on podcast.
Pig out on podcasts. So shout out to all those podcasts.
I love it.
And podbelly.com. So what's up, Steve? What's new? You rode your bike here. You told me 20 minutes, and that was like 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
What happened? I thought you were dead. Like I was like, Steve got hit by a car.
I'm not getting into it on this podcast. That's going to be for our other podcast.
All right, dude.
But nevertheless, I started riding my bike more and more, and I got to be honest with you. My legs feel great. My body feels tired.
I got to be honest with you. Normally, when you ride a bike, you should have like reflective clothing or some shit.
Yeah.
Or like some little blinking lights so people can see you.
Yeah.
You don't need any of that with that bike.
This bike is neon green.
That bike is neon fucking green.
Pow! And so is the helmet. So what it is that one of my coworkers, Tim, not you, obviously,
no, not me.
because we're not colleagues. We're BFFs.
Yeah. I mean, I've visited your work like maybe 3 times, and twice was because I was a patient.
Oh, I was gonna say because you were incarcerated? No, because you're a patient.
Incarcerated?
Yeah, like with the police. Sometimes the police show up and they go, "Here you go. Here's one of these old busters. Take care of him." We found him laying on the street. Oh yeah.
Oh, they bring him to you like that. They're not arresting them.
No,
they just bring them to you.
No, some of them are under arrest if they do DUIs.
Oh yeah, but usually don't the I guess if they're already in the prison, they usually get taken to UCSD, right?
No,
you guys do prisoners too?
Yeah, now it's open.
Did it used to not be open?
They used to have contracts with certain hospitals.
Oh, because I remember I used to work a lot with the surgical residents at UCSD, and one of them got punched in the face by a prisoner. Oh. And that was no. He was from like some freaking small backwoods town in like India or some shit, and like that was his claim to fame. Like that was his like I'm so cool story because I got punched in the face by a prisoner. Yeah. So that was fun. That was a long time ago.
Dude, I will tell you that a lot of people who are which I don't know why you would ever do this. You have to, and then I'm just saying, I don't know. It's not like I'm saying I'm siding with any side because I know that there's a lot of bad people on both sides, whatever. And it's not like anyways. So I know a lot of people always just kind of claim that they got injured, right? And then for that, like if they run away from the cops and they get chased down by the cops, they go, I got injured when you tackled me. They have to be medically checked out, which is absolutely should be a case because you never know if you break a wrist when you like get tackled to the ground when you're running full speed away from somebody. But at the same time, that's kind of your fault. I mean, I feel like you should know that, like, I don't know, for civil law and order, maybe you should just stop whenever a cop is like telling you like stop. You know, I don't know.
I want to know how many people actually run from the cops.
I don't know. Sometimes we
because
see
like I watch a lot of like television shows about cops
Yeah.
or cop-ish type people, law enforcement type people. Like maybe
Sure.
they're FBI, maybe they're whatever, and the people always run. But it's it's a fucking TV show, so it's like
those are the ones they.
if the guy was like, "Yep, that I did it. It's cool."
You're right. I was talking on the phone. I was talking on my cell phone when I was driving.
You're right. I did rob that bank and murder 17 people.
Yeah.
You're right. I did. I don't know. I did steal that lady's purse. I have no idea.
That was me. I was trying to feed my family. Like, you never see those ones.
No. It's like, we're looking for hello.
We're looking for a white man.
Hello, random business. We're looking for a Kevin Green.
Yeah.
And then this guy has this goofy look on his face, and then he runs out the back door. And
he runs.
Man, they always run. Yeah, because the TV show, asshole.
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't know. So yeah, dude.
But yeah, the only thing that's kind of new with me is I started biking more out. I don't even know how we got on that cop talk from my biking. But yeah, this bike is neon green. My friend Tim, this is how we got it.
Oh yeah.
My friend Tim, he bought this sweet bike and also this neon green helmet from the La Mesa Trek store. Shout out to you guys. And he bought it for his like birthday.
Think they want to sponsor us?
I don't think they want to sponsor us. I got to be honest with you. I don't think that I'm their brand. I think that their bike is what they want to see riding on the streets. I don't think I'm what they want to see on top of that bike though. But anyways, long story short is that he bought this bike for his birthday because he was like, I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to do it. I'm going to have a great time. And he said, I rode it once and that was really at the store and I never rode it again. And I was like, I laughed at him because I was like, Tim, dude, this is a really, really nice bike. He's like, yeah, it's almost $1,000 that bike was. And I was like, that bike was almost $1,000? He's like, yeah, go ahead and have it. I was like, Tim, I feel he's like, no, go ahead and take it. I'm never going to use it. And I was like, you may want to use it again. I'm more than happy. And I told him this. I was like, I'm more than happy to buy another bike and we can go riding together, right? That way you can actually use your $1,000 bike and then we can go riding together and like both get in shape. And he's like, yeah, he looked at me for that split second. He's like, no, I'm not going to do that. And I just thought that was so funny because you got to be honest with yourself. Like, you can buy something like you're so inspired to like learn something new. You're so inspired to like do something new. You're so inspired to like try something new. And then when you finally get it, maybe you're like, he also had, and I thought it was so funny. He also had a banjo. And I was like, oh. And he's like, yeah, I'm probably going to get rid of it too. I don't know. He just had like a whole bathroom full of stuff that he was just getting rid of. And I'm not talking about this was like not your regular average run of the mill. Like, oh, I just have one random chair because all the others broke. Or I have an old 1992 Macintosh, Mac iBook or whatever. It was like all like kind of relatively cool new stuff. And I was like, whoa, what are we doing with this? And that was it. Like, I always just thought that was so funny because I was like, oh, okay, well, I mean, I was like, do I want to? I was almost going to like take all of his stuff and like kind of like learn it from him, So that's kind of where my mind was at. And I've been riding that bike ever since. Once again, I'm just on an assault to like lose weight or try something new or just like, like live up to this goal that I have of either riding my bike to work one day a week or riding around more. No, it's not even a measure about going green. It's just a matter of like, I don't know, just.
I think it's cool though.
Doing something.
Well, yeah. I mean, I want to. So Steve, I just poured us this delicious coffee I got from Dark Horse Coffee Roasters.
Oh, it's very good.
And yeah, so I'm just trying it out. I've had stuff from there, but I've never actually bought their beans.
Oh, this is actually very, very good. It's very, very strong. I don't know.
I made it a little strong. That's probably my fault.
I'm glad we're drinking this at almost 8 o'clock.
That's why I poured you a whole third of a cup. So yeah, shout out to Dark Horse Coffee Roasting.
I will say that
San Diego.
There are some really, really good coffee places that I do go to around here, and obviously you've heard me talk about Better Buzz, and I think that their beans compared to like Starbucks or something like that, or your mainstream big house coffee shops, I actually think it tastes really, really good. But
their beans are way better.
Yeah, but then with the exception of like, I will tell you that there's certainly other places like there's what is that? Bird Rock. There's Bird Rock Coffee Roasters. If you've never been to them, they're very, very good. And then also I've heard of Dark Horse. I heard Dark Horse is like
Dark Horse is over in like Hillcrest. It's right pretty much across the street from White Rabbit Day Spa. Okay. Shout out to White Rabbit Day Spa.
Never been.
The owner is Christina. She's a good friend of Shannon's.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Why White Rabbit? What is that? Is that a
Christina's obsessed with
Donnie
Alice in
Darko?
Wonderland.
Oh, okay.
So the entire her attention to detail is legitimately.
Does it look like Alice in Wonderland when you get in there?
So it's all kind of like her, I want to say boyfriend. I don't know. is a pretty good artist. So it's all like there's like a big mural on the wall. But yeah, when you get in there, everything is hedges, teacups. It's everything Alice in Wonderland.
Okay,
and
that's
like
cool.
The design is to the T. But anyway, so they do like a lot of like nails, makeup, all that fun stuff. And I get massages from Jen. Shout out to Jen. You're awesome. But she's about to go on maternity leave, so
damn,
you might have to wait a while before you can get a massage from Jen. But yeah, they do all that fun stuff, all the esthetician stuff, and all the massages and stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we got White Rabbit Day Spa, and then you got
Isn't that so funny, dude?
Dark
Word
Horse
of mouth.
Brewing Company. All these companies that we're just like, we still don't have any sponsors, but that's cool.
We don't need any sponsors though, because I got to be honest with you, I think our listeners. I've heard a lot of great feedback in my mind.
Yeah.
From our people who listen to our podcast.
Telepathically, I hear lots of feedback. Go visit the website, damn it.
But I will say that like sponsorship is great, but it's like we're still going to do this because we honestly love this podcast, whether you're listening or not, or whether we have crazy amounts of sponsors or not, or whether we have anything or not. Like I'm still going to want to do this podcast with you guys because honestly, this is a great outlet for us to kind of still inspire people. What I feel like it stays true to the foundations of the podcast. It's like inspiring people and also providing someone who may be listening who doesn't feel as though they have a network. We're providing you that network, honestly, and letting you know that you do have people out there that do support you and your goals and your dreams. And so that we'll always support your goals and dreams.
For sure. Well, no, and I mean, we're always going to talk about companies and things that we actually like.
Oh, absolutely.
We actually use.
Absolutely. Thank you, Porsche. Porsche, the finest automobile. The finest automobile in the world.
What's up with these random, I keep getting like Wayne's World. I'm probably dating myself with this Wayne's World shit. But when when their show goes corporate, they're like, yeah, I'm not going to do that corporate thing. And he's got like the whole Reebok jumpsuit on.
I know, he's got Domino's Pizza or something.
Domino's Pizza. And then something about he's like, when I have a headache, I take a Nuprin. Little, yellow, different. Yeah.
Ferrari. Boy, if Project Reclamation has aligned themselves with one brand, it's definitely Ferrari. Man.
Yep. You go. We'll drive the finest cars here. Fucking you go.
Oh, man. I was trying to think about some busted brand that I could not think of. And honestly, I was having a hard time with it. Oh, Tim, I'm not going to lie to you. It's been a while since we've been back in the saddle here, providing this blazing content.
I know.
This Hellcat content.
It's Tuesday.
My God.
We probably should have had an episode to release yesterday.
But we certainly love you guys for hanging in here. And honestly...
Because JB was in Canada.
What's he doing in Canada?
They don't have cell phone service in Canada, apparently.
They really don't. No, I'm kidding. I actually don't know.
I'm kidding, too. I talk.
JB always goes to these... he doesn't go to, he doesn't go to some, rapscallious backwoods places. He goes to Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver, Quebec, all these other places, And so that's JB's living.
He spent some time in Regina.
Regina, that's right. That's near the Detroit border, I think. I don't know, actually. I really, really don't.
No, I don't think it's that far east. It's in Saskatchewan, but it's kind of more near Alberta.
One thing I will say is that I think
it's on mountain time, so whatever the hell that means.
I will say that I really, really do love how Canada has kept it real, in the sense where they really, really have their names. I mean, their names are you get Regina, so you have a little bit of English flair to it. But then you get cool names like that have stayed native to their native tongue, like Saskatchewan or
Manitoba.
Yeah, but then you also have the French kind of influence.
And then you
Quebec,
have their weird small
Montreal.
Their weird small east super east cities.
Like Prince
that
Edward
are just
Island?
named after dogs. It's really probably the opposite.
Newfoundland.
Labrador and Newfoundland. Yeah. They just have a bunch of fucking dogs over there.
Classic Canada. We appreciate you. Our neighbors to the north.
We do have some Canadian listeners. Thank you. We love you.
Man.
And there's always Canadian Steve.
Oh, whatever happened to him?
I don't know. We should bring him back.
I think Trump built that wall, and he wasn't able to come back down.
Yeah, Trump's been talking about building that Canadian wall,
the Canadian wall.
God, fucking Trump.
I think... Canadian Steve's lost. Canadian Steve always was trying to learn something, though. I'll tell you that much. So he was always trying to do something, learn something. He was always trying to teach me something, too.
Yeah. Yeah, and he bought all his clothes from Canadian Tire.
Oh, dude, that's
the store. That's
I know it's like your general store.
I've never.
It was the Walmart before Walmart. Dude,
it's like the Canadian Walmart.
I guess, or was it Canadian Sam's Club before?
I don't know.
Well, they got Sam's Club up there probably.
And they have a moose petting zoo outside.
Probably.
And they have their food court only sells poutine.
I know Costco's food court sells poutine.
I bet
and it was delicious. Oh man,
I've never been to Canada. I've never been to a restaurant that had poutine that I knew of or that I ordered. I'm sure I've been to one that had some sort of poutine.
You've been to one.
But when my my honorary little sister Tori, Canadian Tori, was here, she did make me some poutine.
Canadian Tori.
And it was fucking delicious.
Sounds fucking delicious.
Yeah, Tori from Edmonton. Shout out to you, Tori.
Shout out.
I'm pretty sure Edmonton's a huge city, so I don't think I gave away too much information there.
Fries with cheese curd and gravy.
Oh,
and
so
then,
good.
You know, people do it like differently. Maybe they'll add like little shards of shrapnel, little bacon, you know, little scraps of bacon on top. I mean, how could you go wrong?
I like how you use the word shards and shrapnel.
Yeah, because that's just like the only way to describe it.
Why don't you put some shanks in there too?
Shanks, shards, and shrapnel. Boy, I went to that. That sounds like a law firm. That sounds like the most dangerous law firm.
Shards, shanks, and shrapnel.
I know.
Fuck, dude.
That sounds like one of those.
They're divorce lawyers.
I know.
They're definitely divorce lawyers. Ugh.
Divorce attorneys at law.
Divorce attorneys at law.
Shards, shanks,
because we'll
shrapnel.
fucking shank, shard, and shrapnel you.
Your case is ours. Or something like that. Anyways, bro, I feel like we got to get into it.
Yeah,
get
so
into it right now.
So what were you doing earlier today?
Man, you know what? My buddy, my colleague, my homie, Dave, been living in San Diego his whole life, I guess. I guess he moved away maybe or something like that. But long story short is that he told me this. He's like, hey, man, I want to go paddleboard. Now, I just bought a paddleboard. Super excited. He didn't even tell me. He's like, I have a paddleboard. I'm super excited. I really want to go. Do you want to go? And I was like, yeah, sure. I got a paddleboard. Why not? We'll go to the bay. And I was like, how many times have you used it before? He's like, no, this is it. This is his first maiden voyage. And I was like, wait, what? How have you've been living here for a long time? What made you like kind of buy it? And he's like, dude, one day I was sitting at work and I said, I want to learn something new. And I says, okay, cool. That's awesome. But I don't get it. Where's the story coming? He's like, dude, I want to learn something new. So I said, I flipped a coin. It was either heads, I was getting a mountain bike, or tails, I was getting a paddleboard. And I was like, what? Are you serious? Because it's kind of an investment, man. And he was like, yeah. So I hit tails, and there I was, dude. And so I bought me a paddleboard, and I'm dying to learn it. And I said, how cool is that, man? I was like,
pretty fucking cool, man.
dude, because, I mean, it's not, if you have the disposable income, sure, absolutely, why not? But not only just that, it was like, hey, it was like an all-out commitment, an all-out assault commitment to learn something new. Boy, I've always wanted to learn guitar. Okay.
You're
so I'm
using
watch
some very aggressive language today. Shards, shanks, shrapnel, and all-out assault.
That's what happens
Steve
when
is
I
on,
ride
dude.
my bike,
I think
bro.
that's what happens when you ride your bike and you're full of adrenaline, and then you get some dark horse caffeine
when
just
you
pumping
get that
through your
dark horse
veins.
caffeine in you. Woo! That's what it means, dark horse. That's what
Yeah.
that means right there.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, dude, congrats to my buddy Dave. It's his first maiden voyage on his stand-up paddleboard today. He did it. He's like, oh, I fell once. And I was like, cool, fall 100 times. Fall 1,000 times.
Dude.
Keep on falling. But, dude, enjoy that board. Enjoy that board for everything it's worth. That's so awesome.
I did a stand-up paddleboard once.
And?
I mean, it was on land, but...
Well, how was it on stand-up paddleboard on land?
Because I stood up on a paddleboard
Oh.
that was on the ground. No, it's something I've wanted to try, though. I just haven't.
Dude, I think it might be
What do you
definitely
do?
worth
Do you
trying.
rent one?
No.
Is that how you start?
Yeah, you could definitely rent one. I mean, they rent them all. They rent them like crazy in San Diego.
Yeah, I figured you can, yeah.
But it's just something so cool to try because honestly, like,
Is that something you would try first before you try to learn how to surf?
No, because they're two different things.
Okay.
They're two. It's just like, I mean, it's not like mountain biking versus road biking. I mean, even though you can ride on both. I mean, I guess,
Yeah.
I think it's just two different types of things.
Okay.
Like, for me,
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, but I figured as much. Like, dude, is there something that you've ever wanted to do that you've just gone? Oh, I'm just gonna go full sell. I'm fully in. We're committed.
Not in a while, man. I feel like you get kind of older and you just get set in your ways and you
get a
don't
little more
try new
conservative.
things. And I think that's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Because, like, lately I feel like you and I have been more amped to do kind of stuff like that. We were just talking, but we just haven't done it yet.
No, for sure.
But this all started like a week or two ago. So, but yeah, I mean, we're talking about like you've never been on a Hobie Cat. And I was like, dude, look, I checked it out. You can rent a fucking Hobie Cat for 2.5 hours for $34.
I still don't even know what a Hobie Cat is, bro.
It's a pontoon. It's one of the pontoon boats.
It has a little sail to it.
Yeah, it's got like 2 pontoons and like a tarp thing that goes across.
All right.
Fit technically 4 people, but I'd say 2 people is better.
Yeah.
Like you get 2 people on there and you just kind of sit there and you got one sail and you just sail around.
Go at it. All right.
But they're pretty like they're kind of smaller and agile. I think it's like they're like 16 or 18 feet long.
Okay.
So they get cranking, dude.
Oh,
But it's not like, but it's like you're gonna get wet. Like you roll in there in like sandals and like board shorts. It's not like a sailboat where you're like, I'm wearing my sweater vest and my boat shoes, Buffy.
damn.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun. What's something that dude, I haven't learned anything new in a while. I mean, honestly, fucking podcasting.
Yeah, dude.
That's kind of new for both
You
of
were
us.
totally full sell on this.
We jumped into this thing.
I love it.
You know, and then just doing audio and video editing because
Yeah. You committed to that, and I feel like you're good at it now.
well, yeah, JB taught me some basics, and then I just sort of like learned baptism by fire. Like,
What was the one thing that they said, and please forgive me not, they like, I don't know, whether it was one of the Spanish conquistadors or somebody when they came to America, they like got to America and they burned the boats and they said, hey, honestly, if we're going to make it or, you know, we're going to conquer this land, you can't have that concept or you can't have that excuse, you can't have that want of going back.
kind of like losing weight and then throwing away your fat clothes.
Yeah, dude, because you can't go back. And like, there's something
Yeah.
to be said about that. Now, of course, you can return or sell or, you know,
Well, yeah.
get rid of your paddleboard if you don't like it or your mountain bike or
It's
your...
like buying a one-way
or-
ticket somewhere.
Yeah, but it's just like, it's really just like full-on straight commitment. And
Yeah, I like
I
it.
think you're right. As we do get older, those opportunities to kind of do that stuff get so rare. So because you get comfortable, or you kind of protect yourself a little bit more. You become a little more conservative. At least I think that you should become a little more conservative because
Well,
you can't
yeah.
risk anything anymore. Because time and effort and energy.
Well,
or something
I
like
mean, yes and no. I mean, we don't have too much of an excuse. Like, we're both
Yep.
single dudes.
We're
Like,
both single
we don't-
dudes, no
like,
kids.
I feel like if you have like kids and like a family to like provide for,
Oh,
then
yeah.
you should probably be a little bit more conservative. If you're Tim and Steve, we could probably just do whatever.
yeah, with the exception of
Because if
Tom
I
Brady
like,
or something like that.
if I get
usually.
eaten by a shark or whatever, like,
Yeah,
I
that
mean, yeah,
really,
some
really
people
is
would be
terrible.
sad, but I'm not really leaving too many people behind.
You'd be leaving me
That
behind.
sounded really defeatist.
Unless
I didn't mean it that
threw
way.
you to go get eaten by some sharks.
If
Then that's
if
different.
I got eaten by a shark, by the way, I did watch that movie. I don't know why I'm very tangential today. That movie 47 Meters Down. I
What
watched
is
it.
that one
I
again?
wasn't really that excited about it,
Okay.
but the new one looks kind of interesting. But every review I saw, it was like, and they encounter the world's deadliest shark. I'm like, what the fuck is it though? Is it a real shark? Because I can't tell. Anyways, if anyone knows, fucking email me, please. But so I think everyone should try something new, and it
Yeah.
could be. It doesn't have to be something that you might get eaten by a shark in doing, but you know, like traveling, or maybe we were talking about that show Brave Wilderness or something with Coyote Peterson. Like,
Oh, yeah.
maybe go get stung by a bullet ant,
You
or
know what?
get bit by a snapping turtle. That's
People
a
are-
bad idea. Don't do that.
You know what's so funny is that people are so afraid of the consequences sometimes that it prevents them from actually doing stuff. And I'm 1000% guilty of this myself too.
But what are the consequences of trying out paddleboarding?
I mean, you fall and you get wet, unless you're absolutely afraid of water, unless you're absolutely
Unless
afraid to
you're
lose
the fucking witch
$20
from
for the
the
2
Wizard of
hours.
Oz and water makes you melt, then
Yeah.
probably not that big of a deal.
But I figured as much. What was like one thing that like I started just doing, or I don't know.
What was the last new thing you did besides this podcast?
I can't even think about it. It was either, here's what it was. It was full commitment, like for me to go, like I'm going to ride my bike to work one day. Because I think I've always wanted to ride my bike to work when I was living in San Diego. But I was like, oh, there's a hill every single time I got to go. There's a hill either which way. But I was like, fuck it. One day I just packed up my bag and I was
So
like,
wait,
I'm
how
going.
was that hill?
Oh, it was, you know what? I thought I left 2 hours early to go to work, knowing that it was like the Google Maps had said it was going to take like an hour to get to work.
So-
It was an hour ride.
Okay.
And then I anticipated that hill was going to take me at
Did
least
you go up that hill that kind of comes up the back, like right through, like in between those two hotels?
Bachman. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I ended up going Bachman. I've tried a series of different hills to see which
We
one
tried
works
going
the
up
best.
Texas.
No. I can't make it up that one. I cannot make it up that one.
Yeah,
I
you're walking your bike up that one.
Yeah, but like at the same time, I went up Bachman and I was anticipating it was going to take 20
What about
minutes.
Turner
it was
and
gonna be
Overdrive?
terrible. I don't know what that one is.
No, there's a band called, you remember that song, Taking Care of Business.
Oh, yeah.
Every day. That's Bachman Turner Overdrive.
Oh, okay.
Or
Didn't
BTO,
know that.
as most
See?
people call them.
Definitely didn't know that.
Learning new things every day.
Yeah, but then I ended up that hill because I was just like grinding it at my own pace and never like stopped pedaling. You know what I mean? I did it in 6 minutes, man. 6 minutes, dude. Can you believe that?
That's impressive.
Yeah, because that's a huge hill.
I bought a bike a while back,
Go on.
and Brett had a bike, and then our bikes got stolen.
Oh, how did it get stolen?
No, I don't remember.
But no, it's just that's sad. Well, maybe that criminal, whoever stole it, was like full sell. Like I got to steal these.
Maybe
And
it
steal
changed
these
his life.
100%.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I there's things I'd like to. Dude, I was talking about like I'd like to learn how to surf. I'd like to try stand up paddleboarding. It sounds fun.
Well, if
There's
you ever
nothing
want to
wrong
go,
with it.
let's just go. Let's just do it. You know what I mean?
Well, I was gonna go today, and you never texted me back.
Well,
So
you know what?
kind of your fault.
Yeah. Damn.
It's all right. I was like on the fence. I'm like, if Steve texts me, is like, because you're like, yeah, dude, I'll text you our location, man.
I know.
And I was like, if Steve texts me, I'll totally go. But I was like on the fence about my motivation levels today after I got home from work. So I was like, I don't know, man.
Long story short, or short story long, is that, man, it takes a lot in my mind for someone to kind of get over the threshold. But the one biggest thing in the world I keep on reminding myself, and this is the thing I always kind of say, is that the hardest part is just the hardest part is just applying yourself. It's like filling out the application, right? It's just like the initial stuff. Now that doesn't mean that every other stage isn't hard, but it's just like, it's honestly like, hey, the first application of it, like going to the bike store and taking a look at bikes, looking at like a banjo, or looking at the guitars at the Guitar Center and being like, I want to learn guitar.
Well, yeah,
or like,
you know what?
Or signing on a Rosetta Stone and being like, I'm going to learn German. I'm going to learn German.
I mean, Rosetta Stone's a little bit of an investment, but there's like plenty of like.
But the hardest part is like, I'm never going to learn it. Just apply yourself.
Yeah.
And, who knows where you're like, I've always wanted to play piano. Fucking go buy a keyboard and like start clicking around on it. I don't know.
Or like literally just go to spend 3 hours at Guitar Center. They will not kick you out. You can go play guitars or keyboard there for fucking hours.
Do they really not kick you out? Is that part of their...
I'm pretty sure that's part of their thing. You can just play whatever you want as much as you want.
That's kind of cool.
And then if you like it, then go ahead and make the investment. You know, if you want to learn German, go download a free German app and start learning a few words. Yeah. And if you like it, then make the investment in Rosetta Stone. If you want to go paddleboarding, go rent one for $12 at the freaking wherever you are. And then if you like it, then go spend $150 on one or whatever the hell they cost. I don't know how much they cost.
They're pretty expensive, but either which way,
whatever.
The thing is that sometimes you just gotta like apply yourself. But then I'm always impressed with the people that always have the stories of like, I really, really wanted to go do something. I mean, like, I think that's the reason why we like people, like, what's his name? The guy who just ran the 100-miler. He's like, I don't think you can do it, and then he ended up just running 100 miles. David Goggins.
Oh yeah, Goggins.
That's why we love people like that, because they just fucking do it.
Oh, he just did it, man.
So that's always the coolest part. But
shout out to you, David Goggins.
DG.
One of our heroes here on Project Reclamation.
Yeah, but it's just like, I think sometimes you just have to commit. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Or, I will guarantee you that probably it will never kind of go out the same way that you anticipated it. Maybe it might be better.
It's better
Certainly
to have tried and failed than to have never tried at all.
Yeah, and I think that's always like kind of the biggest lesson sometimes, is that sometimes, I will say this, I've been so afraid, I think in my late 20s going into my early 30s, I was so afraid to like, not fail, but to start something, because it was either a question of, can I actually live up to it, or I was afraid of the spotlight a little bit of like actually being maybe successful with it, or like what happens if I do get into school, or what happens then I have to go.
Well, and if you haven't tried, then you haven't failed. But the reality of it is, if you haven't tried, then you've already failed, and you can't fail anymore by trying and failing.
I think the coolest thing, and I would say this, is that maybe whoever's listening to this is like on the cusp of a decision. And they go, I don't know. I think one of the greatest things you can ever have in this whole wide world is choice. There's a lot of people that live out there with no choice, right? You work a menial job in some really, really bad part of the city, country, or state, or wherever you live in. And the only thing that you can do is the thing that your parents have done, your grandparents have done, and that's just how life is. And you have no choice, because that's the way it was always been done, and that's the way it will be done. That's terrible. I mean, like, I feel like, or at least, I mean, if it's comfortable for you, that's great. But sometimes people are just dying for an opportunity to have opportunities, right?
Get out of your comfort zone. There's something you can do. Like, start a podcast.
No,
Shit.
for sure.
If we can do it, you can do it. It's pretty fucking easy.
My point was this: if you don't apply yourself, right? If you apply yourself and you don't get what you want, if you don't get the job that you want in that desirable thing where you're trying to do, that's fine. You at least tried something, and that's honorable, right? That's honorable. But if you apply yourself and you get it, right? Like, oh my God, I ended up getting that job. Well, now guess what? You have a choice, right? And that's the most important thing, or that's one of the coolest things about being alive, is that, hey, I can just continue doing this, and I can be happy, or do, which way I feel, or I could start something new and go to that new job, new program, have something new or a new opportunity, and try that and see how well that works out. But either which way, it's a choice, and I think that's the most important thing, or that's one of the most powerful things that people have, because it allows you to say, hey, like, I can either go right or left, but I don't have to just stay still.
And dude, when you're like old or on your deathbed or whatever, like, you're not gonna have regrets about trying too many things. I mean, Unless those things, had really, really bad results. Like, oh, I shouldn't have tried to rob that bank because I got caught and then I spent 10 years in prison, whatever. But like for normal things, like trying for a new job or trying to start a podcast or trying to surf or like those kind of things that we sometimes don't try, or, trying to move to a new city or whatever it might be, trying to go back to school. Those are things you'll never regret trying, but you'll definitely regret not trying them.
I hear you.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah. I will say this, though, too. If you're out there and you're like, I got a big choice, or I don't know, if I feel like if I do this, I'm going to lose out on this, and if I try this, I'm going to miss out on these things back at home. I will say that some of the biggest things in the world that I've ever done I have just kind of like when I went to college the first time, right? It's a college story. Everyone's got college stories, but like I didn't see the campus. I didn't have time to go check it out. I moved to North Carolina, and I was like, oh, the first time I ever stepped foot in that state was when I came to move there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and I look back on that opportunity like that, and you knowing me, you're like, wow, that was you? You did something like that? That doesn't sound like you. And it doesn't sound like me, but that was me.
Well, let me decide to change your career to nursing. I'm like, isn't Steve a germaphobe?
Yeah, I mean, here's what it is.
I don't think Steve even likes blood. What the fuck? Okay, hey, dude, that's cool. I'm behind it. I rock it.
You have to and I will say this. It's like, when people are like dedicated to running a marathon, or whenever they're dedicated to losing weight, or whenever they're dedicated to eating a new diet, one of some of the greatest things I see is that people go in their garage, they go in their kitchen or garage too, and then they just swipe out all that sugar and all that bullshit, and they just dump it all away and they throw it all away and they don't look back. I think that's like there's something so honorable in doing that because
a good start.
I mean, it's a great start.
People that
it's
do
better
that
than a
might
great
go
start.
rebuy all that shit the next day, but that's okay.
Yeah, but I think there's also a teaching lesson in buying it all over again, being like, do you really, really want this pack of cookies? Because if you do, you buy it, and that's great. No, it's not a failure. It's just you're committed to what you really, really are choosing here. But I will say that, sometimes people just go full. I want to get rid of all. I got to start waking up at 6 a.m. every morning. And they start waking up at 6. They set the alarm for 6, and they don't get up until 7:30. And they go. But you tried. You tried doing it, and then slowly, surely, you're going to get up at 6.
Maybe hit snooze 10 times, but that's okay. You did try.
Yeah.
I think another important thing is find your ride or die friend. You got to have one. So
the one that's always supporting you and backing you up.
Yeah. Like Steve calls me. He's like, "Hey man, maybe we should get season tickets to fucking San Diego State football." Like, I'm down. Yeah, I'm like, Steve, hey man, we should rent a Hobie Cat.
You're always my ride or die.
Steve, we should rent a Hobie Cat. I'm down. Hey Steve, let's go to a jiu-jitsu class. I'm down.
All right.
So find that friend, because doing it with a friend, then if you have a crazy idea of something you want to go try or learn or do or whatever, maybe your friend's not even as into it as you are, but just find that person who's going to go do it with you. And if you don't have that person, just email us, and we may not live in the same city, but we'll give you some encouragement.
Yeah, we'll be able for you to text, and we'll live stream it as you're doing whatever.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure The Rock also has an app that you can download, and then he wakes you up in the morning with motivational sayings.
I will tell you the one funniest thing I do remember about just being like a ride or die friend is that living in LA, I remembered having a bud, and he had some type of ex situation, but anyways. So we were living in LA, and he's like, oh, she lives in San Diego now, and I haven't seen her for a long time. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Have you ever thought about it? He's like, yeah, I text her now, but I really want to go see her, but I don't know. And I was like, well, why don't we go right now? And then it was 9 o'clock at night. And he's like, well, no, because we're going to. And then I was like, dude, even if you see her for 20 minutes, it's better than you guesstimating yourself. And the drive is 2 hours, and you know what I mean? You have somebody to go with. It's like, dude, let's just go, man. Dude, it's enough waiting, enough sitting around, sitting on your thumbs. Let's just do some action. And I remembered we actually ended up getting there at 11 o'clock at night. He saw her for the 20 minutes, and he's like, oh man, it felt really, really good. And I felt like there was some peace of mind, dude. And usually that's what kind of comes along with this stuff, is some peace of mind. And I was like, that's really, really cool. And then the drive was back. The drive was fun coming back, and it was great, So you do need to have a ride or die.
He would have spent He would have spent the same amount of time you guys spent probably driving there, spending time there, and then driving back, just thinking about, just fucking Eeyoring it and all that shit.
If you're out there and you're trying to learn something new, you're trying to do something new, or you want to just do something different, commit. Just go for it. Not just like Nike, just do it. I'm saying look at what you're responsible for. Don't buy no sports car, being like, I always want to go drive 100 miles on the freeway. No, we're not saying that. They're just saying, hey, like, do something with it, because I think you'll anguish about it. You'll think about it. It'll linger with you.
Yeah.
And you'll, like, really, really kind of not regret it, but I think you'll kind of, like, wish that you would have done X, Y, and Z. We're telling you now, just do it.
And you
like,
might
have
love
fun
it.
with it. You might
And
love
maybe
it.
you don't. And if you don't, then who fucking cares? You
And what
tried
if
it.
If it's the worst decision
try
you've
something else.
ever made. Worst decision I ever made.
But-
cool, you know it now.
Well, and most of the things we're talking about, there's no way trying out surfing could be the worst decision you ever made, unless like on your maiden voyage with your fucking paddleboard or whatever, you got eaten by a shark. Like, okay, probably not gonna happen, but
dude, you'll go down as a legend. Like people that get eaten by sharks that are surfers, they're not quickly forgotten. Like
No,
it's not
that's
like
true.
he died.
And if you get bit by a shark and you don't die, that's a fucking hell of a
Dude,
war
there's that
story.
one-armed surfer, dude,
Yeah.
and she's sponsored by everybody,
Uh-huh.
dude, and she's beautiful and she's wonderful and she has a platform now. I mean, that's what people are.
I think the last time I saw her was when it happened, and she was like 13. So.
Yeah, and she's got a beautiful child now, or if not two, and she like is sponsored by the best surf brands in the world because like she
That's
still
crazy.
surfs. And dude, you will never take her down. Like, because if you, think about it. It's just she's beloved by everybody. There's not
Yeah.
even the competitors are like, how could you even go against her? Like, I try to beat out Bethany. It was just, it's like, yeah,
Dude. Fucking rock and roll, man.
I love it, man. If you're listening to this, thanks so much for listening.
Now I feel like we gotta I think we need to commit to something new now.
All right. Well, what do you want to commit to?
I don't know,
bro?
man.
Saving energy, water, compost. I mean,
No.
what is it?
You already don't you compost?
Yeah, it's going okay.
Ooh, that's right. I got you a present. I forgot about
Is it
that.
Is it a shovel?
No, it's a. I know you have a pool,
Yes.
and you got the
Oh,
floaty.
yeah.
You like floaty stuff.
My floaty game.
You got what? You have like a giant raft thing.
I have a giant raft. I used to have a giant recliner that went flat,
Oh,
but that's okay. And I have a giant thing called the Island. And it's like a king size mattress, but it's a circle. Yeah.
we used to have one called Party Island, and it was like this giant thing, and it had a hole in the middle, so you could dive through the hole in the middle like a penguin dives into the ice or whatever. I don't know. I've never really seen a penguin in real life.
I had
But it was at a zoo.
I had this thing at one time called Neptune's Nest, and it was like this big old piece of floaty square foam, probably as wide as 10 feet, as long as 20 feet, and it was like...
Does that fill up your whole pool pretty much?
Yeah, it didn't really work that well in my pool as well as I wanted it to, but trust me, the vision was good. The
Nice.
application was not.
So I was at the grocery store.
Go on.
A grocery store.
Yep.
Not the grocery. I don't know what the grocery store is. In Bakersfield.
All right.
Because I needed to get some allergy meds. Because, man, Bakersfield fucked with my allergies bad. And so did Vegas last week. But and they had all these different floaties, and the one that I really wanted to get you was like this fucking magical unicorn thing, but it would have been totally just a fucking joke. And I was like, I'm not gonna spend $50 on a stupid joke.
It was $50.
That
No,
one
dude.
was. That
I'm
one
too.
was.
I'm too.
But
I'm not
they
high
had one that
class.
was slightly more affordable. That was a giant alligator.
Go on.
So I got you a giant alligator.
I love me.
It's in my car. I'll go grab it for you. So, oh wait, you can't. I'll have to bring it over
I can
tomorrow.
put it in my backpack, assuming that it fits in my backpack.
It's kind of big.
All right. I will tell you this much. I am never opposed to any new floaties. I got my floaty game on point.
Are you working tomorrow?
I am working tomorrow.
Damn, dude, you need to stop working so much.
So Bill's got to get paid.
Yeah, well, it's because you took so much goddamn time off. Didn't even spend any of it with me.
No.
Hate you.
I was working for the last 5 days.
No, I know, but before that, you took like 4-something days off and didn't spend any time with Tim. Nope.
I don't need to.
I had invited you to Shan's birthday party, and you were a no-show mofo.
Oh, shit. I totally
Yep.
forgot. How old is Shannon? 22, man.
Yeah, she's 22 again.
That's a tough age, man.
I know.
You got a lot of
Yep.
stuff to deal with at 22 years old.
It's true.
Oh,
So true. So yeah, dude. So now you got the new experience sometime in the next few days of having an alligator in your pool.
yeah. Some
I'm
gator
excited.
wrestling. Some gator wrestling.
You can wrestle the gator.
I'm totally down. You know what's so funny is I usually blow up those little floaties by my gas station, by my Shell gas station in my house, and I just walk them back. And I'm totally down.
Oh, and that's totally what we're gonna do.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh shit!
Huh.
I have that whole box of dry ice.
Yeah, is it still dry iceable?
I don't know. You want to go throw it in the jacuzzi?
Yeah, we could.
That sounds like the best idea
Yeah,
ever.
but I feel like throwing it in a jacuzzi here, there's so many looky-loos, man.
That's why it'll be funny.
All right, let's do it.
We just throw it in the jacuzzi and then run away.
Yeah, all right.
Or
Yeah.
we go in the jacuzzi and throw it in the jacuzzi.
All right, but I got to ride my bike back. So it's
Yeah,
all-
that's
I'm gonna be all
true.
soppy wet.
Maybe I'll jump in the jacuzzi.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, I got all this dry ice, and I wanted to throw it in Steve's pool.
We got to put the dry ice in the jacuzzi while you're in there, so it all smokes up, and then you come out of it like you're like the beast
I'm wondering if sitting in it when you're getting all that CO2 vapor is like dangerous. I don't know either, and I don't really want to find out the hard way. You're like, well, Tim suffocated because he had a lack of oxygen. So it'll be fucking
detonation.
Steve's fucking solo cast.
Yeah. Your audio quality sounds so terrible now, Steven. Yeah.
I just do it on my iPhone.
I know. My main audio.
There wouldn't even be audio because Steve wouldn't even know how to fucking upload an episode.
Oh, I wouldn't know.
Ugh, gross.
I wouldn't know how to do it.
So yeah, I got this box of dry. I have like 10 pounds of dry ice. I don't even know what to do with it.
Well, if I could.
Oh, you know what? Never mind. I'll grab it between episodes. We'll at least fuck around with it in my house. Maybe we'll just fill up the bathtub. Oh, but then it'll fill up my whole house with CO2.
Oh, the
pool sounds like a better idea. Well, the jacuzzi.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for listening to the
podcast.
Y'all. Oh my gosh,
it's another shorter episode, but that's okay. I don't think anyone minds about a 45-minute episode.
You know what? They probably are at this point. They're just dying because they said the last 15 minutes of it was just bullshit.
Well, I think that's what people like about our podcast is the bullshit. Thanks, y'all. Be good. Till next time, peace.
So what I believe you were trying to say is thank you.